Hi there. My name is Mark, and I'm one of the Rainbow Readers. And I was asked to read a book to you today. I think you're going to like it. It's called Two Grooms on a Cake. Every cake begins with a recipe. Ours did too. The recipe told exactly what was needed, down to the smallest pinch, and it gave instructions for every single step. There are no recipes for weddings, but there are laws for marriages. In 1971, two men who loved each other weren't allowed to marry. Neither were two women in love. That meant we were allowed to stand together on a cake. At least, not yet. Of course, a cake needs ingredients. Our recipe called for fresh eggs, creamy butter, and the sweetest of sugar. A cup of this and a cup of that, a scoop here, a smidgen there. Everything carefully measured out. A wedding needs only two ingredients. The cake ingredients were mixed together. Sugar blended with butter, eggs whisked in, flour folded into the batter. One item introduced at a time until all the ingredients knew each other, until the ingredients could work well together. Jack and Michael had to get to know each other too. They dated, they spent time together, they learned more about each other. Once the ingredients were combined, one last thing was added: love. Every baker knows that the secret to the best cakes. Then the batter was poured into pans. The pans were slid into steamy ovens, and we waited. Baking takes time. Love was added to Jack and Michael's relationship too. They decided to get married, but it would take time to figure out how two men could do that. Jack found something in the law that seemed to make it possible. However, when the two men tried to get a marriage license, they were told no. Getting married wasn't going to be easy, but Jack promised to find a way. Once our cake was baked, it had to cool. We waited, trying to be patient. Jack and Michael had to wait too. Their angry, hurt feelings needed time to cool off. Jack studied the law and soon had a new idea. What if no one realized the marriage license was for two men? Jack changed his name to Pat. Then Michael went alone to the courthouse. He applied for a second marriage license. The license was granted. Our cake was nearly complete. Each layer was covered with thick, white frosting. And the layers were stacked 1, 2, 3 tiers tall. Then we were added, our feet planted firmly in the fluffy frosting. We stood proudly side by side on top of the cake. A wedding is not complete without the ceremony. Jack and Michael set the date, Friday, September 3rd, 1971. They sealed their marriage with a kiss. It was the icing on the cake. Michael and Jack smiled at us as they cut the cake. Friends snapped photos of the two just married grooms and the two grooms on top of the wedding cake. Michael and Jack promised to spend their lives together. Years turned into decades. Decades became a life together. The two men grew deeper and deeper in love. 50 years later, Jack and Michael are still together, still married. We know. We've been with them all along. Thank you. I hope this book has some meaning for you. I know it certainly does for me. I look forward to meeting you again. Thanks a lot.